Say a few things. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I do appreciate that. I want to thank our men and women of public safety, both fire department and police department, for being here as well tonight. As far as the police association, again, regardless of the different sentiments around the community about this particular issue, appreciate the association coming forward and at least continuing to show us your professionalism in terms of how you want to operate a department, how you want to operate for the community as we move forward. I think that the comments I really want to make, first of all, not around the decision, but Chief Kowalski, I do want to, I've said this before, I want to thank him for his service to his community for the 12 years that he was here. Because we've gone through unprecedented growth. There's been a lot of issues we've had to deal with on a number of different fronts. And that being said, public safety has always been a very important component of how we grow, important for this council, important for prior councils that I've served with, and certainly important for the public safety department represented here tonight. So I do appreciate that very, very much. I'm not going to go into the whys, the wheres, or what fors as to why the statement I issued. I think what's important from my standpoint is we've got to move forward as a community. I think everybody up here has said how they feel. Everybody up here agrees that we don't have to necessarily agree on every issue or how things transpire. But the reality is we have to move forward, and we have to move forward in a positive way. I appreciate the community outpouring over not just this issue, but a lot of issues that we've had over the years that have been very difficult to deal with. We do appreciate that, hearing from you and understanding where you stand on these issues. This is a difficult situation, was a difficult decision for Mr. Gray. I understand that, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that when we hired him as the city manager that we expected that he would have to make decisions, although we didn't know specifically on a case-by-case basis where those decisions would lie, but that is what we hired him to do. And, what I really want to get across, and this is totally unscripted. I didn't know what I was going to say when I came in here tonight. We're trying to move the city forward in economic development. We're trying to move the city forward on a number of different fronts. The Money Magazine thing is great. It's great for our community. It's great outside of the community for that type of recognition. But the reality is what we're trying to do as a council is improve the quality of life through improving our tax base so that we can, in a long-range plan, have good development, potentially and hopefully at some point continue to work on lowering our tax rate and continue to have good fiscal policies as it relates to our budget. I think that ultimately our role as a council, and I know everybody up here has said this, our role as a council as it relates to the Office of City Manager is to evaluate him on an annual basis, not based on one decision, not based on two decisions, but based on the body of his work over that period of time. I think both Mr. Ricky and I, having made statements as to how we feel about this specific issue, also have indicated that we are following the charter and doing that, and we'll do that. I think what's important, though, as a takeaway from this is, again, we've got to give transition a chance, and we've got to give it a chance to be successful in order for this community to continue to be successful. And that's really all I have to say about this. There's a couple other things I want to bring up that are not related to this issue. One is that there will be an article coming out in the Dallas Business Journal on Friday regarding the Wistron contract that has now been executed. Wistron is a Fortune 500 company out of Taiwan. They have 60,000 employees worldwide. We were in competition with 25 other cities to have them move a facility here to McKinney, Texas. And those cities included communities not just in Texas, but in Georgia and throughout the United States. We've been working on this process for well over a year, and I'm happy and proud to say that they ultimately have chosen McKinney, Texas to be their next location for a facility that will ultimately employ upwards to between 100 and 200 local residents. They are in the process of working through some other issues in terms of rehabilitation of the property they're purchasing, so it will be a few months before they're actually up and running. But ultimately, it will bring an additional, in terms of value, business personal property value, ad valorem value, in excess of $25 million with their first phase of their project. And that article will be in the Business Journal this Friday. We have a few events coming up towards the end of this month before our next council meeting. We have Scare on the Square coming up, which is always, I think, it's a great event for the kids in downtown. So that's going on. The corporate center vote that we had tonight, that's been an ongoing item that we've worked on for over 2 years now, and I'm glad that we finally are getting to a point where we can move forward on that. And then last but not least, in addition to the injury to one of our officers today, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that one of our former board members, Dr. Timothy Shannon, passed away from a long battle of cancer, this past week. And I knew Dr. Shannon and appreciated his service to our community and to our city council and serving on a board for us. And my heart and condolences go out to his family at this time with his loss. And that's all I have. Mr. City Manager.